Good morning, everyone. It's been a while since I've done my fit tips from the car. I've been super busy. We had the twins' birthday party. They're 5 years old now. So sad. And then I got sick for a while and I'm just getting back into everything. So sorry I've been behind, but I think the last time I was talking, I had said I was going to do a post about macros more in depth, and so I was going to do that today. Well, talk, not a post. So macros, I'm sure you probably heard that term. It's kind of like a more fad type term. I hate to say that, but it is. So basically, if you're wondering what macros are, macros stands for macronutrients. That's basically the content of your food. So every food item has nutritional information on the back, but the three main macronutrients are the largest parts of food. They're protein, fats, and carbs. Some people do consider fiber like a fourth macronutrient, and they count that as a goal, like something they want to reach every day. So, but for these main purposes, I'm just going to talk about protein, fats, and carbs. So what's the deal with the macros? So the deal is that it's a way of eating where you try to manipulate your body composition, which is your fat versus muscle versus like lean tissue and stuff, by controlling the specific macronutrients of your food. So you might eat more carbs one day or the same carbs every day, and a certain number of grams of protein regularly, and you track that over time and you make changes and adjustments depending on your goals and how that's working out for you. And this is not always for aesthetic purposes. A lot of bodybuilders do use macros, but a lot of people do it for weight loss and they've had great success, or they do it for strength. They notice, like, okay, if I eat more this amount of grams of carbs, I feel stronger, and so they track that. So say they were gonna do a powerlifting competition or a strength competition and they wanted to be feeling really strong, they would track how much carbs they eat, because carbs would give you energy. So there's a lot of reasons that you could do it, but the main reason I feel that people do it is, for a diet. I hate to call it a diet, but I mean, it's a way of eating. And for myself, I liked it because it was very freeing to me, in that the scientific community says, with a lot of research lately, that a calorie is a calorie at the end of the day. Whether you get 50 grams of carbs from sweet potatoes or 50 grams of carbs from ice cream. Now, what it does to your body, on a cellular level, obviously will be different, because there's not as many good things in 50 grams of carbs of ice cream as there is a sweet potato. But for weight loss and energy purposes, it's the same. It all turns to sugar in your body the same way. So I'm not saying to anyone that I think these things are totally equal, but for number purposes, they really are. So the way that can help some people is that most people that diet are severely restricting themselves from a lot of things, and people want to know, like, what are good foods, what are bad foods, what are the foods that you eat, what are the foods that this person who has the goals that they have, what do they eat? It must be like a certain list of foods, and macros is not like that at all. It's like you eat whatever you eat and you count it for the day. It's kind of like calorie counting, but it's more in depth. So you would exchange items that are similar in their macronutrient. And there's actually this whole really cool websites and Instagrams and blog posts that say, like, it's like a picture or a post of food items that are actually almost identical, and some of them are surprising, like an apple and a Rice Krispie treat, things like that, in their carb contents, calorie contents, etc. So I think that's helpful for a lot of people, because if you're staying on track all the time, you're gonna eventually break and binge. I mean, you're only human. Or you might need it to go to some social event, and you know that, you know, there's going to be a lot of foods there that are processed and kind of junky, and you don't want to feel bad about eating them. You can actually allot certain macros for those foods. Actually, this is very similar to Weight Watchers. So my mom has done Weight Watchers a lot with really good success, and I guess the more she's told me about it, it's very similar to macros before the word macros came up. So what Weight Watchers does is it counts the carbs, I think the fat and the fiber maybe, and it assigns it a point value, and you can eat a certain amount of points at certain times, I guess, or you can sort of store your points up together for like a junk meal or something. So this is kind of similar to that. I mean, the goal isn't obviously to store up macros or calories for junk meals, but you can do that and still reach certain goals. So if you've ever been online and you like to look at fit people or workout people, and you see them eating a slice of pizza, or they take a picture with an ice cream cone, you're like, how are they eating that and they're still fit? I don't understand. Well, that's what they're doing. I mean, they're, first of all, probably not eating the whole pizza that they're taking pictures with, but you could eat a slice or two of pizza and still fall within your macros or calorie goals for the day. So to me, that was extremely helpful, and it actually helped me to develop a better relationship mentally with food. And so whenever I do hold myself back from having something, it doesn't bother me as bad, because I know, like, hey, well, I did eat some chocolate earlier, or I did eat a cookie, and it's not like I can't eat anything that I want to eat or that's junk or whatever. But over time, I actually have eaten those things less and less, and it's not really bothered me. And I think it's just because I stopped feeling like eating certain things were bad and eating other things were good. Now, with that said, I do believe that things that are in their foods that are in their natural state that come from the earth are the best thing for your body. Meat, fish, vegetables, fruits, on a cellular level, taking care of your body, inflammation purposes, omegas, things like that. It is better for your body. You're going to feel better when you eat those things. You're going to perform better. Mentally you'll feel better. But the fact is, we're all human, and we're all going to break at some point. And there's no sense in, you know, punishing yourself or feeling guilty about those times that you just gave in and ate some pizza, or you went to, you know, a baby shower for your best friend or something, and you ate some cake, and it's like you feel bad about it, and then you restrict yourself for like a certain amount of time, and then you do really good, and then it happens again, and then it's like, you control the food. Don't let the food control you. So that's what I like about macros. And I'm very number sciencey type, like list and things like that. So for me, it was amazing, because I could literally write down, well, there's an app called MyFitnessPal, and there's another one I think called Calorie Tracker. There's several that do this tracking for you, or you can just write on a paper